smoking that silence, she on the powder. Nowadays, I am on my head, got silent. Money got long, money got long.
In this video, we're gonna go over how to get your Instagram aesthetic, how to get it from this to this. Because nowadays, regardless of how you think about it, Instagram has kind of turned into like your business card. It's your resume, it's your portfolio. And as unfortunate as it is, people judge you heavily based on first impressions. And in today's age, first impressions are getting more and more online. So having an aesthetic Instagram is really one of the key ways to just present yourself in the best light and get any of those first impressions down. So we're gonna be breaking down everything from the setup to the posts, to the vibe, to the mentality.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
What the f does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
You're welcome.
Because if you have no idea what to do and you look up how to get a good Instagram on YouTube, all you see is like these Reddit posts, ChatGPT made videos, how to be an Instagram it boy.
Your vibe. Choose if you want to be inspired by people like Mike Thurston, Syrian Psycho, or someone like Tate.
So this video is going to be like a happy medium between the Baljeet, ChatGPT, AI videos and the top 1% social media credit score, business IG type of videos.
Another basic, get the blue tick. It's super cheap to get.
Whatever you do, do not get the blue tick. You are going to get clowned. Now you might be asking yourself, what makes you qualified to talk about this? Bro, I genuinely think I'm like in the top 100. Anyways, let's get it. Starting off, I really want to preface this by saying it's really not that deep. None of this is really that serious. I mean, I am gonna keep it real with you guys. Like, having an aesthetic Instagram is pretty useful sometimes. But if you're obsessing about how people that you probably don't even care about might view you, then that's something that you should address first. Instagram used to be a place where you could just post fun selfies with friends. Now it's just like, oh, this person's on a yacht in Miami. This person's got a Lambo at 20. This person's got, it's just like motion wars. Who's got the most motion, bro?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
I saw a video talking about how people are always gonna find a way to flex their status, like with different status symbols, and how nowadays, since everyone has the same access to information, people are choosing to flex their status through taste. I'll pop up the video if I can find it. But as an example, someone was selling Spotify screenshots to prove to others that they were an OG listener. On a serious note, this is kind of crazy, like the extreme lengths that we go to impress others. Okay, but now that I got the politically correct disclaimer out of the way, let's get it. Part 2. Starting off, Instagram is all about aesthetics, basically just what's pleasing to the eye. So building a good Instagram really just comes down to understanding what looks good. It's just like art. So before you start, you got to train your eye first. Now, what I normally do is wake up every morning and watch the Pablo Picasso complete documentary and take notes. But I'm built different, like casual art enjoyers really...
I realized I was chatting too much, but in all seriousness, it does help to have a little bit of an understanding of the different elements of art and what colors look good together.
So what you could do is just look at Instagram pages that you like. Find a few that fit the vibe that you want and just copy it. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Before we talk about the posts, let's go over the setup. And these tips are for personal Instagrams. For your account name, I'd recommend just sticking with your first and last name. Keep it simple here. You can branch out, but you can't go wrong with first and last name. For the profile picture, this shit is not LinkedIn. It's really not that serious. You don't really need a super high quality HD professional photo, unless that's the vibe you're going for. Like if you're a finance bro, maybe, but just a normal pic of you or something that represents you is fine.
Don't have your girlfriend's name in there, for fuck's sake. I've just remembered that guys actually have their girlfriend's names and the heart. Get rid of that shit. Fucking unprofessional.
I was just about to say put whatever you want, but I actually agree with this though. Having no bio is definitely better than having a bad bio. Less is more here. As for the highlights, I just gotta say this. Nobody cares about every city that you've been to. You know those girls whose accounts just look like Paris, Rome, Greece, Cancun, Turks and Caicos. They're linking with Drake here, bro. That is a red flag.
When you finally travel to Turks and run into Drake.
Highlights are just stories that you keep on your page. So the way I like to think of it is just take little snaps here and there of like lifestyle, what you're doing. These are more casual, so if you see something you're like, wow, that kind of looks sick, but you don't really want to hard post it, then these are pretty good. But don't have like 10 of these circle things on your page. I would say 3 max is a good number. And for stories, don't use filters unless you're going for that ironic vibe. Okay, now let's talk about posts. I feel like everyone kind of struggles with getting aesthetic pics or posts because you low-key gotta put in a little bit of effort. And I know all these trendy people on your explore page, they're making it seem like it's just so effortless, like they're not even trying. But the truth is, they're putting in more effort than you think. Like, think about it. MFs will really take hundreds of photos, just spamming that button to get that one perfect pic. The 1 out of 500 pics that they take, they post. So the point is, you gotta prepare. This is where you go on Instagram, find pics and posts that you like, and just recreate it. Now you can copy it. You don't necessarily have to, but the goal is to just emulate the vibe. If it's a pic that your friend has to take, show him the reference photo. Because if your homie can't flick you up, so you can get some fire emojis and likes, is he really your homie? A good way to think about it is treat others how you want to be treated. If your boy looks good, flick him up. Then show him the pic and he'll be more likely to want to flick you up. And then from there, you guys can go explore each other's bodies.
What?
Just remember, candid is king. If you look at any aesthetic page, 99% of the pics are going to be candid pics. And for fit pics, yes, they're posing, but it's like candid type of poses. They're moving around and they have their homie just tapping that button. So the pose of the pic comes off so much better than just a peace sign. And for specific posts, obviously, there's not really any requirements that you need to achieve this aesthetic look. Just have enough to show off your vibe, your life, what you're into, any hobbies. If you don't have a hobby, take some fit pics, post your accessories. Fashion is just art, but on your body at the end of the day. So you can kind of just go crazy here, like do whatever you want, but don't ignore what actually is visually pleasing. This is how you really get the aesthetic vibe. And stay away from having all your posts just be you, just like selfies. You gotta have some diversity in there. There's some videos that say like, delete any photo of you that looks bad or doesn't follow these set specific rules.
When you look directly at the camera, it's like you're saying, hey, over here, look at me. When you're not looking at the camera, it gives you a nonchalant look and makes you come off as a little mysterious.
Obviously, you want to have posts on there that puts you in the best light, but you don't need to go overboard and be like a mysterious guy, Mr. Nonchalant, like alpha male, not smiling at pictures. I just suggest as the bare minimum, have at least a few photos of you and with your friends. But I mean, look at archive pages. Inspiration is everywhere. And low-key, everyone is kind of just copying everyone. It's really hard to come up with an original idea anymore. Because I mean, after 5 minutes of being on your phone, like 1,000 different things are going through your mind.
Half flannel, half hoodie. What the fuck is that game? Trapaholics. You don't want to miss this. Honey packet. Sugar-free red crypto.
But the key is to just play around with it and take bits and pieces from different sources. And then eventually along the way, you find the style that you like and what suits you best. So here's some different pages that I've always liked. Uniform Display has always been a pretty good inspo for fits and fit pics. And some of these other stuff are cool to look at. Like they be posting some interesting stuff. And it's kind of, I mean, it's not a break really, but it's a nice little break from the brain rot memes. I mean, not really, but okay, now if you're going for a business account or a specific account, let's say you're an artist, it's going to be a little different. Obviously you want to post your work, but mix in some lifestyle stuff here and there, kind of like a personal brand in a way, because nowadays people want to buy from other people, not just some random brand. They want to tap into the aesthetic and the lifestyle experience that the brand has. That's why brands with a personality and a lifestyle vibe always do better than just like TikTok brands that are just clothing. Because at the end of the day, it's all marketing. You can have the best clothes ever, but if you're not putting time and effort into the way you're presenting it, then it's not going to do well. Another example is with luxury brands. People buy it not necessarily because they love the way that it looks, but because the symbolism behind it and how it's perceived when they wear it. So now you know how to find the vibe that you want your Instagram to be and how to build one that's aesthetic. Just remember, at the end of the day, it's really not that deep, but I genuinely think that presenting yourself in the best way possible on Instagram has just so many different benefits.
Very nice.
So it is worth it to just put a little bit of effort into it. You don't have to be insanely nitpicky about it. Just find what works for you. And if you want to know 3 of the best ways to get trendy clothes for cheap, click the video here.